Welcome to another episode of Mastering Cybersecurity, developed by baremetalcyber.com. Let's dive in. IAM matters right now because most work happens across cloud services, mobile devices, and remote locations. A weak password in one place can unlock email, documents, and payments in many places, which turns a small mistake into a large breach. Good IAM lowers that risk by checking identity carefully, by granting only the access that a task needs, and by checking again when the situation looks risky. Done well, IAM also reduces friction. People sign in fewer times, use fewer passwords, and reach the right apps without hunting for links. Leaders gain clearer records for audits and incident reviews. The result is safer access that feels ordinary. That is why IAM deserves a front-row seat in any modern security program. Let's build a shared vocabulary so nothing feels mysterious. An identity is the person or the thing that wants access. An account is the login that identity uses inside a system. A credential is how the identity proves it is genuine, such as a password, a one-time code, a fingerprint, or a security key. A session is the period after a successful sign-in when the system remembers who you are. Authentication proves identity. Authorization decides what you may do after that proof. Keeping those steps separate makes decisions clearer and audit trails easier to read. When people use the same words for the same ideas, support tickets shrink, training gets simpler, and mistakes are easier to spot and correct. Strong IAM begins with a reliable source of truth and a clean life cycle for every person who works with you. Most organizations treat the human resources system as the authority for who is employed or engaged. When a person is hired, an identity is created from that record. When a role changes, access should change with it. When someone departs, access should close quickly and completely. This flow is often called joiner, mover, and leaver. It prevents the common problem of old access lingering in the background. A simple example makes the point. The day a contractor's engagement ends, their cloud account disables automatically, their group memberships are removed, their mailbox is archived, and the system records who approved the change and when it happened. Authentication has grown beyond passwords for a good reason. Passwords are easy to steal with fake login pages, reused credentials, and simple guessing. Multifactor authentication, which we will call MFA, adds a second proof so a stolen password is not enough. The most reliable options are phishing resistant. Passkeys and hardware security keys do not reveal a reusable secret to a fake site, which stops many common attacks. You do not need to change everything at once. Start where risk is highest. Protect administrators, remote access, finance systems, and email first. Expand from there as people get used to the new steps. Each upgrade blocks a wide range of attacks without asking users to learn a new security language. Authorization works best when it scales with your organization. Role-based access control, or RBAC, grants permissions based on common duties, so you do not assign access person by person. Members of the support team get the support tools. Members of the finance team get the finance tools. Attribute-based access control, or ABAC, adds context such as location, device health, time of day, or project tag. Use roles for the stable baseline. Use attributes for exceptions that change more often. This pattern avoids role sprawl and avoids a flood of one-off permissions. A helpful habit is to write down the task that a permission serves. When the task goes away, the access goes away, and the system stays clean. Single sign-on, or SSO, reduces password sprawl and speeds up work. With SSO, a person signs in once through a central identity provider and then reaches many apps without juggling extra passwords. Federation extends that trust to partner systems and cloud services, so your organization remains in control of sign-in rules and session limits. The common technical standards, Security Assertion Markup Language, and OpenID Connect, which we will call SAML and OIDC, are simply the ways systems agree on identity in a safe way. What matters is the effect. You have fewer passwords to protect, one place to enforce strong policy, and better visibility into who is using which application and when. Privileged access deserves extra care because high-power accounts can change systems, data, and security settings. A simple pattern works well. Require MFA every time an admin action occurs. Elevate privileges only when needed for a short task. Expire that elevation quickly. Keep an approval record with a name, a reason, and a time window. Use a vault for shared or service credentials and rotate them on a schedule. Record administrative sessions for sensitive actions so you can answer who did what and when. Keep a short break glass path for emergencies and test it occasionally to ensure it works and to ensure it is not overused. Powerful access should be rare, intentional, and temporary. Not every identity is a person. Services, applications, and automated jobs use their own identities to talk to databases, queues, and API endpoints. Treat these non-human identities as first-class citizens in IAM. Assign each one an owner who is a real person. Give them the least access that lets them do their work. Prefer short-lived tokens over long-lived secrets. Rotate any keys that remain. Monitor how these identities are used and alert when usage drifts or spikes in odd ways. A forgotten robot account with broad rights is a common hidden risk. Ownership, limited scope, and steady rotation reduce that risk without drama. Context improves decisions without adding constant friction. Conditional access uses signals such as device health, location, and sign-in risk to step security up or down. A well-managed laptop in a normal location gets a smooth sign-in. A new device from a new country may require a stronger factor or may be blocked for sensitive apps. This is the spirit of zero trust in plain language. Never assume a request is safe because it comes from a certain network. Verify identity, check the context, and grant only the access that fits the current risk. Quiet when safe, firm when risky, and always recorded so reviews make sense later. Least privilege is a simple idea that works everywhere. Give only the access needed to perform the task, and nothing more. Build roles from real duties rather than job titles, so permissions match the work, not the seniority. Set end dates for temporary access, and put recurring reviews on the calendar for high-risk roles. When a person moves to a new team, reset access as if they were new. That prevents privilege creep, which is the slow buildup of extra permissions over time. Each small removal reduces the blast radius of mistakes and attacks. Over months, systems feel tidier, audits feel simpler, and incidents cause less harm. Logs and metrics turn IAM from guesswork into knowledge. Good logs show who signed in, from where, with which factor, and which resources were touched. Protect those logs so attackers cannot hide their tracks and so investigators can trust the timeline. A short set of metrics shows progress. Measure the number of standing administrators, the time to disable a departed person, MFA coverage, and the count of dormant high-risk permissions that were removed. If a metric does not improve, review the process behind it and adjust. Clear records help during audits and also help your own team understand cause and effect after an incident. Legacy systems and rapid SaaS adoption create real-world challenges, but they are not reasons to stop. Older apps can sit behind a gateway that adds modern sign-in while the app remains unchanged. New SaaS tools should meet one simple entry rule: no SSO, no adoption. That single rule prevents scattered passwords and unknown admin accounts. Keep a short intake checklist for any new app. Name an owner. Note the data sensitivity. Configure SSO. Confirm that useful logs are available. The goal is consistent access and consistent visibility, even when tools vary a lot behind the scenes. A 90-day IAM sprint creates momentum without boiling the ocean. In the first month, turn on MFA for administrators and remote access, and inventory every account with elevated rights. In the second month, enable SSO for the top apps people use daily and clean obvious role overlaps. In the third month, run focused access reviews for high-risk systems, catalog service accounts with owners, and pilot a basic privileged access process with time-bound elevation. Each step is small enough to finish in a few weeks, yet meaningful enough to reduce real risk. You can show progress with simple before and after numbers. Sustaining zero trust IAM means turning policy into habit and habit into automation. Write the rules once, then let systems apply them the same way every time. Tie access to roles and attributes instead of individual exceptions. Rehearse the emergency path so it is safe and predictable, and record the results. Keep approvals, changes, and reviews in places where you can find them quickly. When new tools arrive, connect them to SSO and logging before people depend on them. Over time, these routines make strong security feel ordinary. That is when IAM is truly working, because safety and speed live side by side. Before we close, here are a few small examples that help the ideas stick. A finance manager needs temporary access to a production report. The request captures who approved it and why. The access starts at 9 in the morning, it ends at 5 in the afternoon, and the session is recorded. A developer needs to rotate a service key. The vault issues a short-lived token instead. The old key is retired, and an alert confirms the change. A team adopts a new SaaS tool. The owner is named, SSO is required, logs are turned on, and the app appears in the central portal. Simple, visible, and repeatable. Thanks for listening. If this helped you understand IAM, share it with a colleague who is just getting started. Clear language, small steps, and steady routines make a real difference. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.